Hey everybody, welcome into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Blake O'Rulian. It's February 4th, 2022, and we've got a whole lot of great interviews for you guys today. Coming up in the show, we're going to be talking to a couple of different athletes over at Park City. We've got Gordon over at Park City boys basketball. He's the breakout star. He's only a sophomore, but he has been putting up a ton of points since he got moved up from JV to varsity. So we're going to be talking to him a little bit later in the show. We've also got an interview with another one of those record-breaking track and field athletes. And then we've also got an interview with Coach Preece over at North Summit High School. With all that being said, we're going to get into that stuff a little bit later. Right now, let's talk a little bit about what's going on this week in sports. Let's kick things off with the talented 5A boys basketball team over at Wasatch High School. They had no games early on in the week, but tonight they face Salem Hills in their last outing. With the Skyhawks, Wasatch posted 59 points and secured the 13-point win. The Wasps currently looking to shake off this 3-game skid. They are currently on and secure that number 4 spot in region. As for the girls basketball team, they are at Salem Hills tonight and looking to bounce back from that 17-point loss to Maple Mountain last week. Wasatch lost to Salem Hills in their last outing by only 2 points, so tonight will be an evenly matched game between those two teams. And they're looking to rise up in those rankings in the second half of region in this very close 5A region. As for North Summit boys basketball, the Braves were handed a loss to a tough Duchesne team on Wednesday night. This puts them on a 3-game skid in region play, and their next game is going to be against Gunnison Valley next Thursday. Now on to the girls' side. They are the definition of dominant in the 2A region. Just to name off a couple of stats, they are 7-1 in their last 8 games. They are number 1 now in region. They just secured that earlier on this week. They've got a top 6 scorer, a top 3 rebounder, a top 2 leader in assists, a top 2 leader in steals, and every single one of those athletes that we're talking about in these stats is a sophomore or younger. The Braves continued winning their winning ways this week, cashing in 2 more wins, edging out Duchesne 48-49, another close one for them on Tuesday, and then a dominant 42-57 win last night against Rich. Chesley Langston, we talked to her earlier on this week. We're going to be showing her interview in a couple of days here. She averaged 21.5 points per game over this 2-game span. Hazelyn Murdoch and Heartland Richens also playing at very high levels, both of them only freshmen. So this is a very young team, a very talented team, and a very, very exciting up-and-coming team. I can't even imagine how good they're going to be in a couple of years. No game tonight, but they will be at Gunnison Valley next week. As for the South Summit boys, they've got the win against Ogden on Wednesday night. Max McKee dropped 17, Ricky Perez clocked in 14 of his own, and tonight they host the number 1 ranked, a very tough Layton Christian. On to the girls' side, they lost to Layton Christian last night 58-43. And speaking of South Summit, we've got an interview with their top scorer, Reagan Sanderson, sometime next week. Now we're going to move on over to Park City. They've got their first win since December 1st versus Skyline on Tuesday night. Big night for the Miners. Cutter Lapine, he dropped 18. Luke Verchok with 16. And Duke Gordon, who I talked about just a minute ago, he dropped 13 of himself. Only a sophomore. Looking to add to that momentum tonight, they host the Brighton Bengals at Park City High School. I'm sure it's going to be a huge night for Park City and those boys that just got their first win in over 2 months. Lastly, girls basketball over at Park City lost to Skyline on Tuesday night. They face Brighton tonight. Also, we learned that the top scorer and rebounder on the team, Ava Kimchi, is going to be out for the rest of the season. We wish her good luck in what she continues to do in terms of athletics. That's it for this week in sports. When we come back, we are going to be talking to another PCHS indoor champion. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Scoreboard.
The Scoreboard is proudly sponsored by Andrea Cox Mortgage. Welcome to First Rate Mortgage.
My name's James, and I've been in the market for mortgages several times over the years, so I've gone through the process with different people. And when I met Andrea, she explained to me why my current loans were subpar and how she could get better loans with better rates.
If I had to describe Andrea in one word, I think I would use the word passionate. She is very passionate about what she does and getting the right solutions for her clients, and that made her an absolute pleasure to work with.
Hi, I'm Andrea Cox. You can reach me at 435-631-9262. Call me, text me, or you can reach me on my website, andreacoxmortgage.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Blake O'Rulian. It is February 4th, 2022. And just as promised, we are going to be moving over to Park City High School, where Matt DeMarco posted a indoor school record in both long jump and high jump just a couple of weeks ago. Matt, we got the chance to sit down with him along with many others as we've been airing them from episode to episode. So here's Brigham Harris and Matt DeMarco talking about his record-breaking performance just a couple of weeks ago.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Brigham Harris here for the Scoreboard, and right now I'm joined by yet another track star from Park City High School, that in Matt DeMarco. Matt, thank you for taking some time talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Well, let's talk about your two events. We just talked to one of your teammates, Will Fleming, who broke the indoor school record in the mile. It's a little different. You not only broke one, but two indoor track and field records. Tell me just a little bit about your reaction when you found out about breaking these.
Coming into the meet, I knew that they were very breakable records, and that's what I set out to do. My goal for the meet was to do that, and I did it, so I was happy with my results from the meet.
Yeah. Let's go over the details a little bit of those broken records. 6 foot, right? 6 foot is the exact mark for your high jump.
Yeah.
I'm not even 6 feet tall, so that means you could just easily jump over me. Is that something that is that something that you like aimed out for, 6 feet, or were you going for even more?
Well, at the end of last season, at the state meet, I qualified for high jump, and I was always trying to get to 6 feet, but I never got to it. And then somehow the first meet of this year, with almost no training at all, like no practice jumps or anything, I jumped 6 feet, so it felt pretty good.
I was gonna say, that's gotta be pretty comforting knowing that you have an entire season ahead of you, and your first meet, you just come out and break a record. I mean, what does that do for your confidence?
That makes me feel pretty good, so it makes me feel I can do a lot better things than I've already done.
Yeah. Well, one record now, we're moving on. Let's talk about the second one. 19.8 feet, almost 20 feet in length, right? It was your long jump, the new Park City High School record. Tell me about that one. I mean, which one was broken first, and did you have any, sort of layoff in between the two where you were just kind of starstruck?
So after the high jump was first, and I had a couple hours before the long jump, and my legs were already really tired. It was just not very favorable conditions. I didn't PR, but the record was not very high, so it didn't take that much to break it.
Yeah.
So everything ended up working out, but
Right.
I definitely think in next meets I'll be able to jump a lot farther.
Yeah. Is there a meet in particular maybe this season that you're most looking forward to?
No, not at all. I'm not very educated on the different kind of meets at all.
Well, what's your goal for the season? If you don't, I mean, you say you're not educated on the meets, but you definitely have the talent to come out and break records and really perform. What are some goals you have for 2022?
My goals are to break the outdoor long jump and high jump records.
And what are those? Do you have an idea of what that's going to take?
The long jump is 21 feet and 4 inches, which take a pretty good amount of improvement, but I'm pretty confident I can do that. And then the high jump record is 6 feet 4 inches, which I got close a couple times to 6 feet 2 inches in the meet, and I think with more training, like better work on my form and power, I'll definitely be able to do it.
Yeah, coming from someone who I think my high jump record is like 3 something, so not very high at all. What are some things you do to really train your legs for both long and high jumping?
Bulgarian split squats, a lot of them.
Got it. Note that.
And then just the workouts my coach gives me, I do, and they work. I also like dunking a lot, so I'm just training your legs.
Dunking?
Just jumping, yeah.
You dunk to train for track?
Well, kind of like for fun. Or like I play basketball for fun, and then I don't ever play basketball, so I just get kind of some practice in.
Okay. Matt, talking with your coach, one of the things that he said was that you're one of the most well-rounded athletes on the team. Tell me what it takes to not only have to be skilled when long and high jumping, but also carrying out some of the sprint events that you do.
You just have to be able to train your legs for power more so, and I'm gonna more so focus on my jumps, I would think, and more on shorter sprints this year to help me with football as well, but they kind of go hand in hand, the power of your legs with jumping and short distance sprints.
Yeah, and that being said, you not only have to focus on multiple events when you go to track meets, but multiple types of events. Is there anything you're particularly excited about that doesn't have to do with jumping?
I'm excited to just see how fast I can run, just to try to set new PRs, just kind of work on myself.
Yeah. Last question, what position you play in football?
I play receiver.
Receiver. Okay, so speed is definitely a very important thing, as is jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Matt, for your time. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Matt, thank you so much for sitting down with us. We're coming down to the tail end of all of these record-breaking athletes. There's so many of them. They're all so talented. By the time we finish these, the indoor season is going to be coming to a close and the outdoor season is going to be kicking off. But all jokes aside, we have so many talented athletes over at Park City High School. So Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us and for giving us the opportunity to talk to you along with so many others at Park City High School. When we come back, we're going to be talking to another very talented Park City athlete. This one over on the basketball court. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Scoreboard.
Hi guys, I'm Janet the Dairy King. We're famous here for our ice cream. We have 84 different kinds of shapes. We also have some amazing food. So come and try our chicken strips, our fish and chips dinners, our burgers, our fries, our sweet potato fries. Oh my gosh, we've got so much. Once you go over to the Heber Valley Railroad and ride their train, then of course you have to come here and see all of our trains. Our family's serving your family since 1946. We hope to see you soon here at the Dairy King.
Hey everybody, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Blake O'Rulian. Now, as we mentioned, we're moving over from track and field over to the basketball court, where I think we're talking to one of the most interesting athletes that we've been able to cover here over the last couple of weeks. Duke Gordon was a sophomore basketball player on the JV squad at the beginning of this basketball season. As he continued to play super well, he moved over to the varsity squad, but unfortunately, he broke his wrist in the middle of a game. So he was off for a couple of weeks, and then he ended up coming back and dropping 18 points against one of the best teams in the state in Olympus High School. I got the chance to sit down, talk to Duke Gordon, and he was able to give me a little bit more insight on what this season has been like, his key role in making Park City a better team. As I mentioned earlier, they got the win against Skyline. He was a big key factor in that, in dropping 13 points. He's one of the top scorers on the entire team. And with that, we're going to go over to my conversation with Duke Gordon. So here it is. Blake O'Rulian alongside Park City High School sophomore Duke Gordon. Duke, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So, Duke, I've wanted to talk to you actually for a long time, actually. You stepped up into the varsity role this year, about midway through the season. You played a couple games early on, but you really made your impact known in your first game a couple months ago. Can you tell us a little bit about this season and what it's been like playing with the varsity team?
It's been fun playing with varsity. I didn't expect it at the beginning of the season, and when I got called in, it was just take my opportunity. But the season has been a roller coaster, doing really good at the beginning, then having a rough middle season, beginning of region, then last night winning against a good Skyline team. It's just been fun going through the season so far.
Absolutely. Could you tell us a little bit more about how you got moved up to varsity? What was that even like? What were the circumstances like?
Well, it was during when we got back from the COVID break, and Sebastian Wolf, Dylan, they all had COVID, and so I was the next guy up, and so he just gave me a chance to play.
Now, you played a couple of games back in November, if I'm correct, but then it seemed like you went back to JV. Is that correct?
Oh yes, I was back on JV sophomore squad, but it was during winter. I actually broke my wrist, and I was out for a few games, and Olympus was the first game I got back in for like a month. Yeah, and then in that Olympus game, you dropped 18 points on your first game back. Is that correct? That was really fun.
How did it feel to have not necessarily your first varsity start, but one of your first games at varsity as a sophomore, and you drop 18 points on those guys? And that's a good team.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything going in. When Purcell called my name, I was just thinking that I would just assist Luke and Cutter and Kai, but Olympus was guarding them really tightly, and they were just leaving me open. I just had to make my shots.
You know, they left you open, and that was a big problem for them because you dropped 18 points on them. Last night, you dropped 13 points against Skyline. Luke dropped 16. Cutter dropped 18. You guys are playing very, very well. You know, last night you guys played very, very well. How was the energy last night after you got that first win in over 2 months?
It felt really good. We just went crazy, and Well, what Purcell said is that we shouldn't be satisfied with that win, even though it was really great to have it. We still have Brighton Friday, and if we win that, then the sky's the limit for us.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about Cutter and Luke. They're seniors. They're going to be leaving. This is kind of going to become potentially your team. Is that something that you know going into next season as a junior?
I feel like, yeah, it would be with me and Kai as probably the primary team scorers. It just has to be us two helping the offense and then getting other guys rolling in the scoring.
Absolutely. Do you feel like there's been some guidance and almost Cutter and Luke have been able to take you under their wing as you've come in the second half of this season and also been a huge part of this varsity squad, not to mention when they're gone, it's going to be able to help you a lot?
Yeah, I think getting the experience now and getting the leadership from Luke and Cutter, getting that experience now will probably help me when I'm an upperclassman.
What's your favorite memory so far of this season?
I think it was against Morgan when Cutter had that fouled three and he made those 3 free throws.
And with the wrist injury, I actually didn't know that you had the broken wrist for about half the season. So did you play no games just in between that time, and how long were you out?
It was when we played Bonneville to the end of winter break. So what I did was I didn't play any basketball. I just dribbled and made shot layups with my left hand for the whole time and just was at practice learning the new plays.
And that's another question I actually had was, did you have to kind of adjust to learning all these new plays as you got moved up?
Yeah, it's definitely with the speed of play, that kind of was a shock to me. And then learning the new plays with new teammates, that was a big change too.
What's the adjustment been like playing with these new teammates and with this new speed that you mentioned?
Definitely the athleticism. Playing with JV varsity, no one's like over 6'3" really that much, but playing here, there's Luke, there's Lister, there's Seb. They're all over 6'3", and it's fun to give them the post action and giving them 3-point shots.
Awesome. Well, Duke, you're doing great. Park City seems to be up on the rise again with that win last night. Congratulations and good luck for the rest of the season. Duke, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you. It was super fun to be able to talk to you, check out the practice, see what Park City boys basketball is up to. So they got the win against Skyline. They've got Brighton tonight. They're actually playing right now as we speak, as this airs at 6 p.m. So good luck to Park City boys basketball. And with that, when we come back, we're going to be moving over to another basketball court just a little bit away in Colville, Utah, with North Summit head basketball coach Aaron Preece. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Scoreboard.
It starts small. A celebration of every detail. A smile. A singular passion. It's the smallest of details that add up to big differences. Every single day. Every little moment. It starts here.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Blake O'Rulian. Now, as mentioned, we are going to move over from Park City over to Colville, Utah, where the North Summit Braves had their senior night just the other night. Brigham Harris was able to go over there and talk to Aaron Preece, the head coach of North Summit basketball, to talk a little bit about the seniors, about this season, and what to look forward to as the season comes to a close, and the state tournament. So with that, we're going to move it over to Brigham Harris.
Hey everyone, Brigham Harris here for the Scoreboard, and right now we're catching up with head coach of North Summit boys basketball, Aaron Preece. Coach, thanks for taking a couple minutes.
You betcha. We're glad you're here. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course. It was a fun game to watch. There was a lot of drama, a lot of little things. But before we talk about this game, I wanted to ask you about your season. Tonight was a very special night for not just you, but 7 of your players, as 7 of them are graduating. Tell me about this season and any expectations.
It's been, record-wise, it's been a little frustrating, but these guys come to work and they get after each other and play hard and make each other better in practice. Sometimes it's not shown in the score, but it's a group that, they get along well with each other and work and do a lot that we ask of them in practice and in games. So they're a great bunch of kids.
High school sports is a great opportunity to not only, learn your craft and become a better athlete, but kind of like what you just said, you become a better human being by being in these tense situations. What can you say about the growth about your players?
Well, that's what we always hope. We tell them all the time as a coaching staff, we really hope that they're actually learning something outside of basketball and how to work together, and those lessons of being a group and a team and taking that in the next step in their life, whether it's religious missions or just working in whatever job field they go, is learning how to deal and work with people in intense situations. And so, we're hoping that they learn stuff like that besides the game of basketball and how to, hustle and work hard and play together. But
I'm interested to know, what was the pre-game conversation like in the locker room in comparison to the post-game?
Well, we always talk about keys to the game and what we go through and what we're looking for against them and things that we know that worked against them the last time and their players, and go through different things like that. And so we talk about that and just what we thought we needed to do to come out on top. And then compared to going in after this, is just kind of things just didn't go our way. We missed some shots here and there, give them a little bit of momentum and takes us out of our game, and it just kind of shifted. And so, but the boys battled and did their best, and hope we'll come back and get after it and ready for next week.
Talking about next week, and we talk about how the season isn't over. This was just senior night. You still have a handful of games left. What's the goal? What's the mission in these last couple weeks?
Well, we try to just talk about winning each game and talk about going, we have 2 games, 2-0 for the week. So our goal is 2-0 for the week, and we got to travel to some tough places. We traveled to Gunnison and we traveled to Millward, and those are going to be battles that we've got to be prepared for and end strong with our season and see where it puts us in the RPI and who we're matched up against and who we're going to go play and get after that way.
This year, not just this year I'm sure, but in the years past, but this year alone you guys had an incredible stadium jam-packed full of people. I noticed the amount of people who were here tonight, hundreds, whether it was students, parents, fans. What do you have to say about the crowd that's behind your boys?
We have a great fan base, and our parents travel well and support these guys, and it's just fun to see. It's fun to see parents getting in the game and cheering on their kids and their friends, their sons' friends who are on the team. But we have a great bunch of fans that travel well. We'll go to places and sometimes have just as many fans in the stands as they do. And so it's awesome to have a great supporting cast, I guess you could say, like that.
Well, last question, again, Coach Aaron Preece, we appreciate you taking the time. Last question is, if you had any message that you didn't get out in these last few minutes to your seniors, it is senior night and this is their last time playing in Colville, what's the last thing you would say to them if they were to see this?
I told them in there that we love them. They're just great young men, and sometimes things don't always go your way. I guess we forgot to talk about that, but it's the way you bounce back. And if you can bounce back and get better and become better from whatever situation happens to you in life, that's what you got to do. It's not how often you get knocked down. It's about how often you get up and go. Those great quotes like that. But that's probably what I'd tell them. You just got to bounce back no matter what happens in life. When something comes at you like this, a little adversity, you got to jump up and get after it.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time. A fantastic head coach and obviously a great mentor to these kids as well. So we wish you the best of luck. Absolutely. From what I can tell, absolutely. We wish you the best of luck these last handful of games, and we hope to talk to you again in the future.
Thank you.
Brigham, thank you so much for making it out there to Colville and talking to Coach Aaron Preece. We really appreciate being able to cover North Summit. We've covered them a lot. They've got a lot of talented players over there and a lot of up-and-coming rising stars as well. We might have an interview with another up-and-coming star from North Summit in the next couple of weeks here. When we come back, we're going to be closing off the show and talking a little bit about what to expect for Tuesday's show. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Scoreboard.
Take advantage of the amazing mountain access right from your front door. Apex Plaza offers impeccable amenities and unparalleled mountain access. I'm Stephanie J. This is the Opulent Minute. Featuring a contemporary designed great room and gourmet kitchen that open to an expansive terrace. I'm here with Crystal, owner of Guardian Angels Babysitting Inc. Tell us a little bit about the services you offer.
Yeah, we offer luxury baby gear rental and babysitting and the commodities of home on your vacation.
To book Guardian Angels, visit opulentvacations.com. The high-end amenities at Apex Plaza will entertain everyone. Enjoy soaking in your private hot tub or lounge by this 50-foot pool. The clubhouse game room will provide hours of fun for the whole family. With unbelievable ski and mountain bike access, there's something for everyone. You'll make unforgettable memories in this mountain retreat. Thanks for watching The Opulent Minute. Contact us today, opulentvacations.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Blake O'Rulian. Now, before we close off the show, we do want to give away our Athlete of the Week. And this is actually, I think, the first time that we've done it since we've been here on the Scoreboard. We're going to give it again to Chesley Langston. She has been playing incredibly well over on North Summit girls basketball. Again, they are 7-1 in their last 8. She is playing so well. We've actually got an interview that's going to be airing in the next couple of weeks here on the Scoreboard. We got the chance to sit down with her earlier on this week. She averaged 21.5 points per game during this time, and this is also in a time where there had to be a huge adjustment for the North Summit Braves. They lost their top player and one of the top players in the entire state in Marcy Richens about halfway through the season, and Chesley really was that girl who was able to pick up what Marcy had to leave when she got injured and really run with it. And right now the North Summit Braves are first of all, they're the #1 team in region, and they're looking to really make an impact at the state tournament in the next couple of weeks here. So we give it once again to Chesley Langston. And with that, we want to thank everyone so much for watching today. Make sure to check out our social media page at Scoreboard Nation, and also check out our website, thescoreboardnation.com, to check out all of our latest interviews and past episodes as well. Also, send in your highlights if you have them. We'd love to put you guys on our social media page. And we also love the chance to be able to give anybody and everyone who competes very highly in the sports world a platform to be able to give you some more recognition. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday here on the Scoreboard.